Welcome back everyone to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And this weekend we will be having a tournament in Ice Golem's Peak. And the conditions are High Elves team only, or faction only. So really what we're going to do is take a look at some of these champions that I think could help you to have overall use. And if you're lucky enough to have pulled mostly Legos, you can get a pretty good team of damage dealers. As we have one of the best voids in the game in this faction, being Arbiter. Well, quick shout out. We're not going over the moves, but it's Elf Guard. She has a small decrease attack, turn meter 50%. So we'll start with the rares. Now, one of the best in the game. He should be rare or legendary status. They ain't going to change it, they never do. But he is that good. He's not overrated as people say. You can take him to any single part of the game you want. Clan boss, dungeons, arena. So Scatterbolt attacks 3 times at random, which is pretty good. Give him 100% crit rate. That and I think it's War Master Giant Slayer can do pretty good damage. He has Soothing Chant. When booked, 2 turn cooldown. And you make him really fast, that's really not that long at all. The heal can be critical. And it starts at 35%, so you get an additional like 3-4%. Now I've seen this move heal for over 60-70k, so if you have him in your team purely just to heal people, that's something he can definitely do for you. Now Boon of Speed, what he's known for, what he's used for, what he will prioritise is Boon of Speed. Places a 30% the big version increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, and fills the turn meters of all allies by 50%. So that move right there is kind of what he's known for. It will help you if you take him to Ice Golem. You'll cycle through all of everybody's moves a lot quicker with their increased speed buffs, the turn meter increase. He is an all-round champion and somebody that you could use in this. We have just quick, I suppose, shout out to a starter champion. She is okay. She does an extra hit if it's critical in the A1. Still 1 hit extra hit if it's a crit. Attacks 1 enemy, then all enemies. Something fantastic. And just AoE attacks 2 times. She could potentially help you with waves if you don't have Royal Guard, or if you're looking to get a little bit of damage, but she isn't really fantastic. Randomly we could come into Hyria and lead the charge level 1, goes to 4 turns, and she will use her default skill, and 2 random allies will join her as well. Ally attack, basically the best version you get I think is Longbeard, so it's 20% extra damage. But apart from that, if you really needed it, although I don't think you would use it, it's there. Reliquary Tender, people have a mixed view of her. I think she's pretty good. I haven't got mine to 60 yet. It's in the works. We're getting there as we grind on making these chickens. So if paired with, sadly, a Dark Elf, or paired with Seal of the Drakes, they will just pretty much support anyone. But on her own, she has, as an A1, a decreased attack for 2 turns, a single enemy, 20% chance, 40 when booked. It's not bad in A1, it's another one. The A2 is removes all debuffs from all allies, so she will cleanse. Then places a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns also. 3 turn cooldown when booked. But the call to life move is why you would have her in this team. And it revives an ally with 30% HP and fills their turn meters by 30%. So, come back to life, 30% HP, and then a rather big turn meter increase. You help people get back attacking again. She is pure support, so wouldn't be building her up for damage, would be building her to support the other people in your team. We will give a shout out to the one and only hardest hitting nuker in the game, Royal Guard. You can use this guy if you have a decreased defense, although he will use decreased defense. He will use takedown occasionally before there's a decreased defense, or he will kind of hold off. But it just attacks one enemy, 50% chance of placing the big version, decreased defense, 2 turns. 82 is what he's known for. It's takedown. This is not too great on waves, it's much better on bosses. But if you have somebody to lower defense, or weaken or something, then this could help you chip away the HP, because the waves are potentially harder than the boss itself. You have to get there. Hamstring, 4 times at random. It hits okay. I mean, it hits okay damage wise. Each hit is a 60% chance of placing big version, decreased speed, debuff for 2 turns. And that's what you're looking for. That slows the waves down, so they hit you less. They're going to take more damage due to their decreased speed. And also will a chance of decreasing their turn meter at 25%, which is quite massive. He is pretty much one of the best in the game if you have him, and randomly if you pair him with a Tyrell, he will do some serious damage. Oh, I don't have Tyrell do it yet. Have not pulled one yet, but I know he does a decreased attack, which you will need. This is his singing steel, what he's known for. Decreased defense, decreased attack, that's what you need. So for the Ice Golem, this guy should potentially be in the team, because he's the only champion I think that does AoE defense down and attack down. Nobody else will do it. Plus you can pretty much take him anywhere. Also clan boss, factual Mors. And imperative strike decreases the turn meter by 50%. If the attack fully depletes the turn meter, place a stun debuff for 2 turns, proportional defense. So if you pair this champion here, Tera, with Royal Guard, Tera going first obviously for the defense down, set you up nicely. Quick shout out, we'll just go to Thenazil, who is defense up, decreases the duration of enemy buffs, and has a sleep. We do have Vergis, who is just a tank who wants to keep himself alive. He has his passive continuous heal, increased defense. He can get annoyed, and he is quite annoying. I think, do we want to? Battle Sage is just a cleanse. And we'll just quick look at her. You will see her in Plat Arena by certain players. The first one is just AoE. 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns, then removes all debuffs. And it cannot be removed, that's why she's so good. A chance to revive on death buff on an ally for 3 turns. And if the ally is killed, instantly will just be revived. So potentially for you could take her into the team. So we'll look at some legendaries now. First one has to be Arbiter. She's going to come in. She'll start here. Revives. Good. The revive is good. She revives all dead allies to 35% HP. If those turn meters evolve by 20, grants an extra turn to this champion if an ally was successfully revived. So which is pretty good. An extra turn will help her to then fill their turn meters by 30%. Place a large increased attack buff for the big version on all allies for 2 turns, which could help any nukers, for instance Royal Guard, or hell, it could help Tyrell as well. Well, we didn't see defense. So he's helped Royal Guard, heals all allies by 25% of their max HP if they have less than 50%, so that's a really strong move. We're taking them back to life, filling turn meter. Then you're filling it again 30% after that. Attack up buff, then a heal. So she is great, she's great for a reason. Arbiter, if you have her, if you've completed the missions, she will definitely be in the team. Somebody I like is Lysandra. I use it in Spider. You can use it in Fire Knight. And it's just because Energize for myself and Exhaustion. As I say, I use her for Spider, but in Ice Golem, it could effectively help. Maybe not with the end boss because you don't want to do too much damage. You want to watch the ticks as you gradually lower his health down. But she is good for depletion of turn meter and transferring all debuffs from the champion to the target. So somebody on the wave could put on decrease. You could have a Madame Ceres. You could then, using Lysandra, remove the defense and attack down you get from her, put on somebody else. You deplete someone's turn meter. Right, you're going to have a group increase, 30% increased speed for 2 turns, and ally boosts their turn meters as well. Decreases the turn meter of all enemies. That will allow you to essentially, hopefully, go first. Dungeons you don't have to be as fast as Arena, so you could have either or, Lysandra or Arbiter. For damage, we'll give a little shout out. AoE's attack is always critical. We focus this gentleman just on crit damage. If you're not hugely bothered about these moves critting, which you don't really need to, he is all about damage, so he's just plainly going to be a nuker that's going to rip waves apart. And with a defense down, he will be extremely effective, probably 50 times more effective. As I mentioned, because of a video I seen with Royal Huntsman, you could potentially use this guy because he ignores defense by 100%. This could be someone, if you've pulled him, you could pick away the waves. After Terra comes in, Royal Guard's been in, you've got Lysandra maybe, or Arbiter, or Battle Sage, buffing you up, giving you increased attack. And we will also just a quick look at Shiramani, because she can hit pretty hard, pretty good champion. She has force, so she attacks 3 times at random, 15% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Freeze is any type of CC is good in my book. Said it before, I'll say it again. Any type of CC, stun, freeze. If it helps daze, put him to sleep. You know, if you need it at that time, it could be very crucial to you. My cat has just turned up, what a little darling. Heals one ally by 50%, so this goes to 4 turns. One ally 50% and other allies by 20, or their max HP, and they get a continuous heal buff on targets with full HP. Yeah, that could keep you alive. Ice Storm is an AoE freeze. Fills the champion's turn by 10% for each attacked enemy. Full, have her go in, attack the wave, freeze people up. With CC, you could potentially also use a stun set on any person that has a lot of AoE moves. That way you're keeping a potential stun. Like support champions. Save your Ethos or Royal Guard. Maybe your Tyrell, Ronas, Huntsman, Yannicka. They're people to do damage. But that's just us looking through the index. It is the Ice Golem. You will have to take on waves that are annoying. The second wave has reflect damage. Because we have 2 Shrieks. And Shriek is activated, reflect damage. Will kill your teammates. So make sure that you can CC enough with a stun set or sleep, whatever it is, to make sure you get the 2 dogs taken down. And guys, I've got to go raid for a bit, so I will catch you on the next one.